Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to welcome you here to the home of the Bulldogs. We have had some technical difficulties getting this camera set up and getting everything ready to rock and roll. We've been over filming our young men and young ladies as Doddridge had host of Harrison County and track and field. So those of you that tuned into that with WVRC, we want to welcome you and thank you for that, but welcoming you here to the baseball field. And as we look out there tonight, we see for the Bulldogs, Evan Kelly is going to be the lefty hurler that takes the mound for the Bulldogs. And as we go tonight, we're going to look at a couple stats. It's been a few games since we've been with you all. The Bulldogs come in tonight still 8-0, perfect season, and they have been steamrolling these teams. Justin, when we've seen these guys pop up, other teams with good records, and we're facing their aces, we're seeing the right arms, but it just seems like the Bulldogs' bats just won't stop.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's been the case of us not seeing certain competition, because pretty much every team we've played is through their aces. Every team we played is pretty much through their best at us, and we just handle it accordingly. You handle stuff accordingly like these guys are doing. Good things are going to happen, and I've seen through their record and these wins that they've had, it doesn't matter if one guy's having a little rough game, you've always got another guy behind them to pick up, and it's just been fun to see. And I think these guys are playing good. Are they playing their complete peak? I think they're going to peak right around the right time. I'm really looking forward to seeing them peak right before the state tournament time and everything come together.
These Bulldogs face a pretty big lineup here where, first off, this is a Route 50 rivalry game, so your record really means nothing when you're playing your rival. Ritchie County Rebels come in tonight hungry to knock off the Bulldogs, which is just a 10-minute down the road neighbor, so that's going to be important that the Bulldogs come out of this thing early and often with what they have done. It can't be in cruise control because they jump back in tomorrow away at Sissonville, which is a pretty long poke down the state. Then they turn around Saturday, drive up to the Panhandle, and go take on a very tough Weir team.
Yeah.
They get a rest on Easter, and then they hit the road and go to Myrtle Beach for quite the stint down there in South Carolina. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're excited to have you with us here tonight as first pitch is about to happen. We are working on the outfield camera, so it will be up and running, but just give us a few moments. Bear with us. But Evan Kelly here takes his first strike, swing and a miss by number 7. I have no lineup cards in front of me, so we're going to try to get those lineups. Line drive hit to shallow center field. Rakiski camps under it, and that batter was number 7, Tegan Backus. And so now at the plate comes number 12, Bryson Hayes.
Now up for the Rebels, the second baseman, number 12, Bryson Hayes.
So that's going to be a real quick start to the game. We have one batter up, one out, nobody on. Hayes steps into the box to see the lefty. Swing on, drove down the left field line, but that's going to be foul. Hopefully not up in the bleachers where the track fans are still hanging out. That boy got all of that.
Yeah, he was around on that ball there. He's definitely around on his fastball.
Evan comes back in with that sneaky back door and gets ahead of the count. No balls, 2 strikes. We do have 1 out by a fly ball to center field.
If I'm not mistaken, that was a changeup away right there. It's a pretty good pitch.
Here comes the 0-2. Fastball down and in. And the coach seems to be making a pretty good play so far.
Okay. Get him a glove. He might not need it.
So we'll have this outfield camera up and running. I know that's been a thing that has been really nice as we've watched these games, kind of get a good angle for the batters. So bear with us as we've got guys up here working much smarter than I am on how to get these things fixed. As Evan throws his first ball, just doesn't get quite the break that he was looking for. So that's going to bring up 1 ball, 2 strikes on the batter. And at the plate is number 12, Hayes, in the 2-hole.
Ben, I'm really going to watch how how Evan's going to work these batters here.
Line drive
nice,
to the left.
Nice hit. The batter was already caught up with his fastball there. I'm kind of surprised he threw that fastball right on the inside corner again.
So on down the inning, that brings to the plate the third baseman, number 9, Turner Shriver.
All right, looks like we got our outfield camera up, so now we're rocking and rolling on all 4 cylinders here. So we have the 2-hole hitter with a line drive into left. This brings up the 3-hole, number 9, Shriver. for the Rebels. Fastball inside, fouled away. Evan has now started ahead of each batter, which is always something that you're looking for with that FPS.
Well, the Ritchie County's come out swinging. They're putting the bat on the ball.
This is that rivalry game. You know, when that happens, man, it doesn't matter what your record is. Both these teams are hungry for a win. Sometimes the team that has the advantage on paper gets lax.
That's it.
And so they're looking to come in here and try to get an upset, especially on not only the first loss to the Dogs, but on their home turf. Swung on, hit down the third base line. Fielded by Kelly. Kelly to Swiger. Swiger to first, and he just not in time. But, man, what a beautiful turn. Malachi fields the ball at third base, fires to Swiger, which Mr. Swiger was just over on the track and field. We've bragged on him all year about how much of a dual athlete he is. He just did 14 feet.
Yeah, that's something. And that's something. Already broke his own record, and I guess he's got a national record.
He's not a national record. He's nationally ranked. Top 20 in the nation for sophomores in the pole vault.
Huh. Yeah, it was a real good play there by Malachi, getting the ball over there to second base. It was just all the way around the horn. Kid was pretty quick.
Fastball finds its way to a strike on the low and inside corner, and at the plate is number 22, the DH, Grayson Dodd. He is DHing for the pitcher, number 25, Austin Topper. That'll be on the mound for the Rebels. No balls, one strike, and Evan looks over and throws it away from the first baseman, but the coach elects to keep the runner at first. So no harm, no foul. Keeps the runner at first. And we've got 2 outs here in the top of the first for the Bulldogs.
2 outs, 1 strike. Evan really needs to be looking at the batter here. I understand the guy's probably playing around on the bases. Just really need to buckle down and get this out.
No balls, 1 strike. Dodd at the plate. The delivery finds its way past the bat, and that goes quick to no balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Now, I'll tell you what, the difference is our first few games at home, we've had cold weather, with a little bit of rainy weather. It's now warm, and the wind is doing what it normally does, blowing straight away out. So the pitcher's got to keep the ball low, keep the ball out of the air. And there's a drive into left center, and that's going to get past the left fielder to the left center wall. And we're going to see the Rebels put a run on the board as the ball relays in. And number 9 slides in safe.
You know, me seeing what I just seen, well, we had 2 strikes, you know what I'm saying? 2 outs, 2 strikes, man on base. You can't put it right over the center of the plate. You just can't. You got to get them chasing. You can't just set it on a tee for them.
Sometimes you can't be too good.
You just can't.
You got to get away from the zone on 0-2. So that's going to bring number 10 to the plate, which is London Shiflett. He comes to the plate. London will be playing right field tonight. And we have a runner still in scoring position with 2 outs. Lefty on lefty here. Comes right back into the zone. Finds strike 1.
Which really surprised me about Evan, because usually his approach is he is so secure and coming back in ball like a negative count.
Swung on, fly ball in the infield. We got the.
All right.
And we make out number 3. So we're going to go to the bottom half of the first inning, but not before the Rebels put the first run across the board. Rebels 1, Bulldogs 0, and we will be right back. Welcome back. We know the scoreboard's not working. My other assistant is not here yet, but they are quickly going to be on their way. So we will get the update at least for the score. Like I said, bear with us. We had to reset all this up right at game time. If you could, let us know if you can hear us out there. Not sure if this is even broadcasting across. The Rebels have number 25 on the mound, the righty hurler, which is Austin Topper. He will take to the mound.
On the mound for the Rebels, number 25, Austin Topper.
Leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs is going to be number 2, Brody Brockelman. Brockelman has been the leadoff hitter all year for the Bulldogs, has been successful at finding his way on base, mid-4s on his on-base percentage while batting just north of 350. This batting lineup is going to be a tall drink of water when it comes to their ability to get on base for these Rebels of Ritchie County. So we start off strike 1 outside corner, and that gives you a little bit of an idea of where the strike zone is going to be. A little off the plate, but very hittable. Put that in your pocket when you get 2 strikes. Ball drove into right field, gets past the right fielder. Brockman looking for extra bases, should be easily standing on 3. Ball comes flying in, number 12 fields it, chucks it to the third base, and we have a leadoff single. However, the error allowed him to get to third, so Brody does go 1 for 1 with a single. Ball gets by, and he's standing on third base, and that is going to bring up Mr. Tristan Swiger for the Bulldogs.
You know, I noticed when Brody hit that ball, he did not go up the line lackadaisical. He was sprinting.
Took off.
No matter what happened and the ball got by, that's how he got that triple. He hustled up the line there.
Tristan Swiger has been dynamite. Last night was one of the best nights he swung the bat. Hopefully it carries over. And that's going to be a flare to the second baseman, as we were just bragging on him. However, it's going to be hard to handle with that speed. He gets in there, and Bronkelman slides in safe, and we got a tie ball game. It's going to go down as an infield single for Swiger. A lot of English on that ball.
Oh, Brody Brockle with
squirts away.
The Will Smith Independence Day slide in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, our helper has arrived. The scoreboard will be up and running. Miss Page is in the building. As we got runner at first. No outs. Caleb Hall, the senior, in the box. High floater. Just misses. And that's going to bring up ball 1. So 1-0. So the senior comes in tonight batting just at .600 on base percentage of about .750 so far. A couple extra base hits. Looking to add to it now with Swiger standing on second after the stolen base, and he quickly steals third. Throw down is not in time, and he's going to be safe. So Swiger steals second, then steals third, and we have a runner just 90 feet away from the lead run coming across the plate. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs, bottom of the first. Fastball misses high, and that's going to bring 2 balls, no strikes. Back to Swiger. Not last night, the night before at Tyler Consolidated, he found barrels.
That's what I heard.
All over the field.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Fastball misses.
Real glad
4.
Tristan Swiger coming out of that like he is. I mean, he wasn't hitting bad, but he wasn't hitting up to his potential. Now I'm hearing he's really clubbing the ball. That's great to hear. He deserves that. He deserves that for sure.
The way that he swung the bat last night, he could have closed his eyes and taken a hack, and it was on a barrel, on a line, and it was getting out of the infield fast.
Good for him. Good for him.
At the plate, number 50, Luke Rakiski steps into the box. Fastball high and away. Throw back down to third as Hall takes second. Wisely, the Rebels try to hold the run at third and not throw down to second. Rakiski has been doing his job. Fly balls, good extra base hits in the gap, especially with runners in scoring position. This is who you look to go to. Swung on and drove into center field. That's going to fall for a single, and we're going to score a couple runs off of it. Here comes Swiger, and quickly in comes Hall, and Luke Rickiski always... He was initially called out, but the ball squirted out of the glove of the second baseman, and Rickiski is going to be safe at second. He's going to have a single and advances on the throw to second base and slides in safe. So Bulldogs quickly found themselves behind 1-0, and then the offense took over as it has. They've scored the first 3 runs. The first 3 batters have found their way safely around the bases, and this brings up the cleanup hitter.
He almost lost that double on that. You're right there, but him dropping the ball allowed him to get it. It was just good hustle by Luke.
Dane Murphy at the plate. Dane finds some barrels against Tyler Consolidated, looking much cleaner at the plate, a little more relaxed as he sees his first strike fouled off down the right field side into the fans. A little souvenir for the kids.
How Dane look at Tyler, Ben?
Dane looked real good at Tyler. He played well, played third base well, swung the bat well. He gets a hard barrel there, but that's going to be straight in the air. Second baseman camps, and we find our first out. Stepping into the box is the third baseman tonight. We're going to see some switches as the year goes on between Murphy and Malachi Kelly. So today we get to see Kelly over at third. He's already flashed the glove a little bit, showing off what he can do.
Yeah, he got it around the horn really well there on third base.
He did. He's a big guy, 6'3", 6'4", but moves really well for his size. And don't forget that he also has a lot of pop to that stick. Fastball misses just up.
Yeah, for being his size, the maneuverability for Malachi out there in middle infield on third base is just really, really good. Very versatile. Very versatile. That's what the college is like.
6'4", about 190 pounds, and climbing as he takes strike one. Definitely not a pitch that he wanted to go after early in the count. So he finds himself 1-1, 1 out. Rickiski still at second base.
And then if we're going to really talk about Malachi, how about his pitching coming around?
Oh, he's been throwing the ball well on the mound. I'd say we may see him, if not tonight, we'll see him this weekend a lot.
Yes.
He's got a very strong arm, has a 3-pitch mix that does really, really well, throws fastball, curveball, cutter.
Yeah.
So I really like him on the mound, and he's going to sit low 8s.
Yeah, he's performing really well. I mean, he's in placement, too. He's got command on his pitches.
Swung on and missed, and that's going to be a strikeout for the third baseman, Malachi Kelly, and we now have 2 outs, and that brings up the pitcher for the night, Mr. Evan Kelly, number 4, and he is in the 7-hole tonight.
Malachi knew halfway through that swing it was wrong. You seen it.
It was a little up, and it looks really good when it's coming in there. You're expecting, hey, I can get up to that ball, but it didn't come down much. Evan Kelly in the box. Fastball to the outside. Rickiski tries to steal, and he does safely. That's a questionable move right there. We have a lefty hitter, which opens up the gate very easily for the catcher to be able to throw down with no obstruction. But Rickiski showing off the wheels, slides in safe.
I think, honestly, Ben, they're just stealing off that. Oh, grabbed him.
Nice play by the second baseman. He jumps up there, climbs the ladder, and brings down the out, but not before the Bulldogs push 3 o'clock across the plate as we head to the top half of the second inning. Bulldogs 3, your Ritchie County Rebels 1.
Second inning of play.
Goals. Together, we are united to make a difference.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The top of the second inning, Evan Kelly, the junior lefty hurler, looking to make short work of the Rebels in the top half of the second as his offense comes in and gives him a little bit of a cushion. Justin, as a pitcher, how does that make you feel when you know, hey, I went down a run, but my guys come in and really came to bat for me?
You know, that's a lot of pressure off your back when you're coming into a situation like that. But, you know, there's no time to let up right now. You know, it does give a little bit of pressure off your back, but there's no less than performance. There's no less than he has to do right now. He's going to have to still stand up here on the mound.
Rebels are going to bring number 1 to the plate to start off, Zach Hartness. Zach is the center fielder for the Ritchie County Rebels tonight. Young man going to step into the box against the lefty junior. And as tonight goes, we are having a little bit of difficulties with our commercials. So we do want to give shout outs as we go to those that have supported this great program with WVRC, so these young men, young ladies can have this kind of broadcasting. Key Oil has definitely been a proud sponsor of Bulldogs. So has the Bulldog Station. So if you got something that you want to get to eat, give the Bulldog Station a call. We give those two thanks so far for being supporters of the Bulldogs. Fastball finds its way pretty much into the lefty batter's box, so thank goodness he's not a lefty. And that brings up a 1 ball, no strikes, as the flag flies straight out of center. Here comes the windup and delivery. Comes back in with a strike, fouled off to the coach. Coach's fielding skills are still at 1,000 tonight.
He knows it.
He knows it.
I tell you, Kelly, you can really just see that little wild pitch he threw. You knew exactly what he did. He knew he did it before he released it. Now he's back in there, yep.
Back in that groove. So we go 1 ball, 2 strikes on the batter. This is where right field, I look over, he's playing pretty shallow, taking away the flare. Evan Kelly looks on. Here's the delivery. Low for ball 2. Good eye by the batter, and that brings up 2 balls and 2 strikes. No outs here in the top half of the second. We welcome those of you that are watching this evening. If you got any questions or comments, would love to know where you're from, would love to know who you're supporting. We'll give a shout out to your player if we can, but we always enjoy the interaction with the fans. For we are here as one big sports family. Doesn't matter whose team you're on, what colors you support. We are definitely one family when it comes to our sports here.
Yeah, we just like to see some good, clean baseball out here. It's a nice day, beautiful day out. It's always good to have Bulldog baseball out here. And, you know, them being right up the road, the fans get to come down here to the
That's
field
right.
and enjoy the time here.
Evan Kelly on a full count. Fans, the leadoff hitter for a quick first out. And just like that, the Bulldogs are seeing themselves with nobody on and 1 out, top half of the second. If you're just joining us, the score 3-1 in favor of the home favorite Bulldogs. Number 8, Wagaman, steps into the box. He is going to be the left fielder for tonight. Kelly fires, delivers, fastball just a bit high, going to bring up ball 1. Evan Kelly stares down the pike, gets his call, fires in past the bat of Wagaman for strike 2. And this is where we were last time. Does he go in the zone, Justin?
Nope.
Good idea. Stay away from that zone.
You know, especially their top batters. You don't want to put nothing on a tee for them. So you get that 2-strike count. Yeah, I'm not saying don't throw a strike, but you need to be working corners or off the plate a little bit.
Right.
It's just 1 pitch.
2 balls, 1 strike. Now we got 3 balls and 1 strike. One of the keys to the games that we talked about, or we wanted to talk about, we didn't have a chance to, was key number 2, throw strikes, limit bases.
Yeah.
That's well, it's pretty redundant to say that's a goal every time, but it's important. Be in that zone as often as we can. Get ahead, establish your first pitch, and work from there. 3 balls, 1 strike finds itself right down the pike, and that's going to bring up a full count on number 8, Wagaman.
And I have noticed that different on Kelly this time he's pitching. So the last time he was comfortable in getting behind a little bit, trying to get him to chase. Now he's getting up in the zone Just once he gets up in the zone, you just kind of watch what you do. You don't want to keep teeing him or whatever, But that comes with experience. Evan is a very smart guy. He knows what he's doing out there. Very high IQ guy. So he's good where he's at.
Batter fouled it off there. Good fight to stay alive. Wagaman looks at a full count. Here comes the pitch, swung on and hit right back where it came from for a base hit. That's a good piece of hitting by Wagaman for the Rebels. A little bit of life here in the top of the second. One out, Wagaman at first, and that brings up number 14, Logan Martin, the first baseman.
He thought he was going to barehand it out there.
He thought about it.
He thought about it.
He wouldn't have liked it if he got it on the hand too much.
Logan Martin.
No. Like he halfway reached for it with his hand and thought about it midair.
Establishing low. So we got one ball, no strikes to Martin. Runner is over at first after the line drive on a full count. He saw 6 pitches. Actually, he hit the 7th pitch. Swung on and missed. Even the counts up. 1-1, 1 out.
Kelly just came from a little bit of a different arm slot right there. Did you see that? He came like a little 3/4 instead of over the top. He came like 3/4 on that. It's something different.
People want to talk about the aces in the staff. If you don't mention this young man's name, you're missing out. There's a flare to right field, fielded by Hall. We're not on the bag, and we throw it away. However, no runners advance. Right fielder had him dead to rights, but we didn't cover first base bag. But thankfully, runners do not advance. So we stay with runners are at first and second, 1 out, and this is going to bring number 27, Joey Dalrymple. If we're pronouncing that right, I'd love to see how we pronounce it. I think it's Dalrymple. Joey Dalrymple, number 27.
Joey Dalrymple.
He is the 9-hole hitter.
That's something that you could practice there with Caleb in the first base, but not very normally. You see a short fly, then they try to get the right field gun him out at first,
Yeah, last night or the other night at Tyler Consolidated, Hall made a play like that, came running in, scooped it, fired at the second, and got the lead runner out. But here's the thing. That's not our normal first baseman over there. Malachi Kelly's playing third base tonight.
Right now. Right.
So it's a little different, but, hey, we'll adjust from it as Evan fires a ball wild to the outside, but the spider athleticism from the catcher saves that. And Coach Wright said, I've seen enough, and he's going to come out and have a little conversation at the mound and kind of get these guys back in there. While they're talking, instead of going to commercial right here, I want to look at these keys to the game. The number one key was handle the moment. They've got to be able to stay composed early and don't let this rival speed up the game. Okay. It's very important, as when you are the home team, you are the team that should be ahead. You got to make sure that momentum, that pace of the game is your flow. Don't allow jitters to get in. Don't allow rivalries to get in. I'll be honest. I think we've seen some jitters so far. I think we've seen
a little bit.
A couple of those things not happen in our favor.
Yeah.
But the adversity is going to happen, but how do champions respond?
I've watched Evan throw for a while, and this is probably not the best I'm seeing him throw, and he knows throughout the year here that he's thrown better up until this moment. But you're talking about jitters. These guys are going to throw a couple pitches here, and he's going to come back into zone. I do not have any doubt, or would not be surprised if he starts pelting them right in there.
Here comes the pitch after the talk with Coach. Finds its way right down the middle, past the bat of number 27, Dalrymple. And that evens up the count, 1-1 with 1 out. And the other part of this key of the game was to limit the free bases. And so far, our 2 mistakes, we've backed them up well. So they haven't been able to advance. What a bunt down the third base line, but we let it roll foul.
So free bases. So you're talking free bases. You're talking walks, steals, overthrows, just the stuff mistakes that you're actually making yourself to keep them runs from getting around the bases.
There's no defense for a free base. Free bases, when we don't execute the job we need to do, walks, errors.
Yes.
Just like we had, we overthrew first base right there.
Pass balls.
Because of the backup by the catcher, they can't move the bases. So great job of limiting that so far. 1 ball, 2 strikes, finds its way past the swinging bat of number 27, Joey, and he goes down swinging. And now we're looking for that magical third out as the top of the lineup comes back up. Tegan Backus comes to the plate. Number 7, he is the shortstop for the Rebels.
His slider's starting to look real good. It's working on the low and in. He's a lefty, so if you're a right-handed batter, that ball's coming right in on your hands.
Fastball swung on into right field. Hall comes in and camps under it, and we are going to the bottom half of the second inning with a couple hits.
Let's go.
Limited the errors.
That's it.
No free bases, so that's what we were looking for, and we'll be back right after these short messages.
Check this out.
Welcome back to the bottom half of the second inning, and we are looking number 9, Maxwell Nicholson, the 8-hole. He's our catcher, is coming to the plate. Going to be facing the pitcher, number 25, Topper, for the Rebels. So if you are just now coming back and joining us, the Rebels jumped out in the lead with 1 run in the top of the first inning. Bulldogs answered in Bulldog fashion. Couple good barrels, couple nice stolen bases. They put the pressure on, put themselves in scoring position, and pushed 3 across the plate, and then come back out and played well enough. I can't say they played good. They played well enough to allow the Rebels not to score. So here we go, bottom half of the third. Maxwell Nicholson comes to the plate.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know who's hearing this or who's going to listen to this, but if their intensity don't get up for these next couple games, for sure, if they don't finish this game in the next couple games, they're going to probably get some I's dotted for them. You know what I'm saying? So they need to get it together here, get their tempo up. I'm not sure what's going on. Let's see if they can get it up and get it going here.
Here we go. Number 25, Topper, looks on for his signals and fires to the sophomores. He hits a line drive into right center. That could be down. Nope. The center fielder makes a great play, covers some good ground. That is number 1, Zach Hartness, the center fielder. Nice job by that young man.
It's a nice hit, nice catch there.
It's a good barrel, nice job. And that brings up the 9-hole hitter, Mr. Hunter Hayhurst. That is not correct. They switched that up. Josh DeHaven is the DH. Hunter Hayhurst is playing left field. However, Josh DeHaven is hitting for him. Here comes the pitch. DeHaven sees ball low, and that's going to bring out a count of 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. The flag's still blowing pretty brisk, straight away center field, so a good hard hit ball up in the air might travel and start seeing some of these extra base hits as we get these top of the lineup rolling. Curveball finds its way beautifully in there for a strike. Nice pitch by the young man, and brings up a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. DeHaven, while we were away, pitched at Ravenswood and pitched a complete game and did a phenomenal job on the mound and came away with that run in a short game where we pulled away 16-0 in the 4th inning, I believe it was, maybe the 5th, but did a great job of keeping those bats silent all night. And that's going to bring up our shortstop, number 2, the leadoff hitter, Brody Brockelman. Brody stole a couple bags in the first inning, put himself in a good scoring position, and he looks to do so again as he's awaiting the pitch. Here's the delivery. Fastball on the inside, just misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Curveball again finds its way in there, drops in for a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike, still not what he was hunting. Know what you're looking for. Brody's not going to chase that stuff early on.
Sure.
That's a nice pitch, though.
It is, and that loopy curveball coming in there, they see it, and it's just not what they're used to, and it's hard for them to flip the switch on it. It is. I can see it.
And early in the counts is not what you're wanting to hit anyway, so they remember that with 2 strikes on him. There's what he's looking for. There's a line drive into shallow left center. That's going to put the leadoff hitter aboard with a single.
I'll tell you, I got to say this. Brody has really stepped up in that one hole. And, in the leadoff, he has done his job. And I was questioning it. There's a lot of fast guys. There's a lot of good infielders. Of course, I'm going to question, well, how is he going to do? Brody Brockelman has done amazing out here. As far as the leadoff guy, he's done great.
Swigert at the plate. Brody takes off. Slides in, and he gets rung up.
Oh, just as I said.
Rung up on the steal. They find out that, hey, the guy behind the plate's got a cannon. So nice job by the young man behind the plate to get the third out. Being aggressive is what these Bulldogs are all about. This time it went in favor of the Rebels. And when we come back, the Rebels stifle the Bulldogs in the bottom half of the second. So we go top of 3, score still 3-1. Welcome back as we go to the top half of the third. Rebels going to play off of some momentum that they gained off the throw out by the catcher. And some quick stats. I want to go over this on our offensive side. These were things that we normally cover in the first half before the game gets started. The key hitters, Caleb Hall's batting .591, 20 RBIs already in just a week in one game. 2 home runs and already a pile of extra base hits.
That's amazing.
Tristan Swigert batting .522 with an on-base percentage of .620. The big man, Great Dane Murphy, batting .444 with an on-base percentage of .640. Luke Rakiski comes in with 11 RBIs, 13 runs scored. Brockelman, Nicholson, and Evan Kelly are all in the 350 range.
Come on. Everybody over 300. That's amazing.
The team batting average so far right now is elite. They are batting .386 as a team and putting up 10.7 runs per game. Now, these games, when I say 10.7 runs per game, we've already seen 4-inning games. We've already seen multiple 5-inning games. We've only went the distance in 3 of our entire season games so far.
So that cuts your innings, your overall innings way down for your numbers to be up.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, top of the third. Evan Kelly starts off speed, misses just high upstairs to the 2-hole hitter, number 12, Brayson Hayes. Brayson is the second baseman, made a really nice ladder play as he climbed the ladder to make the out in the first inning, and he flies this ball to the first baseman, Dane Murphy. Dane makes the play, and we have an out. So 1 man up, 1 out.
Murphy is first for the first out in the inning.
And now comes the 3-hole hitter, number 9, Turner Shriver, to the plate.
That brings to the plate the third baseman, number 9, Turner Shriver.
Sorry about that. You could hear me breathing.
That's all right. That microphone was turned right up in your nose holes. At least we know you're alive.
You reached right around there and fixed my mic for me. I appreciate it.
That's what we do here. It's better than say, hey, Justin, we can hear you breathing because your microphone's in your nostril.
I swear I'm not a brown bear over here breathing like that.
Listen, if you can't sit here and have fun while you're on the air, why do it? Some of these guys want to act like they're professionals. Let me tell you something, folks. We are not professionals.
You can understand the intensity in the game by hearing my breathing through the mic.
I looked around, I was waiting for you to say, Luke, I am your father.
That's what it sounded like. Sorry about that,
Here we
guys.
go. 9 steps into the box. Shriver. No balls, no strikes. Fastball to the inside. Just misses. And we skip back to the cannon from the umpire.
He knew he had more. He had to let off.
1 ball, no strikes to Shriver. Evan deals off
Nice
speed.
pitch.
And evens the count up 1 ball, 1 strike. top half of the third inning. We are sitting with 1 out. With a score, the Bulldogs 3 and the Ritchie County Rebels 1. So far, I think we are, that first inning, we saw a couple hits strung together. Then we fell pretty flat quickly. In the second inning was very uneventful, I should say, as there's a line drive into left field. Nice piece of hitting by the 3-hole hitter. Fielded out there by number 11, Hunter Hayhurst, and thrown back into second base. So now, real quickly, the Rebels come in 1 out, put a guy aboard with a line drive to left, and in steps the cleanup hitter, number 22, Grayson Dodd. He is the DH for tonight for the pitcher.
Number 22, Grayson Dodd.
Fastball inside, just misses.
You know, I've noticed these guys, when they're doing this slide step to get down the mound quicker so the base runners aren't running on them, you still have to lead with your butt, you know, with your cheek. You can't slide your foot out, then you're opening yourself way up. A lot of these guys, I'm watching our guys, they're opening it up really early, and they're having trouble controlling their pitches on their slide steps.
You know, and what happens is they start to throw with their arm and not their body.
Correct.
And you see the ball up and away. You see the lack of control because
you're taking that hip-shoulder separation out of the pitch, you know, by not leading with your hip rather than leading with your foot.
Slider finds its way inside, and the batter does a good piece of hitting, fouls it off. And we have 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out to the cleanup hitter. And standing over on first base is number 9, Turner Shriver. Ground ball to second base, fielded by Swiger. Swiger over to Brockman. Brockman fires across for the double play. 4-6-3 double play gets us out of the inning we go to the bottom half of the third. The Bulldogs 3, the Ritchie County Rebels 1, and we'll be right back.
At 304-666-1364. Open Monday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Tuesday and Wednesday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Thursday and Friday 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturdays 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Bulldog Station located at 3. Looking for automotive service you can trust? Turn to Rokiski Service Center in Clarksburg, West Virginia. Family owned and operated since 1924. We've proudly served generations of local drivers with dependable, honest automotive care. From routine maintenance like oil changes, brakes, and tires, to lift kits, custom wheels, and off-road accessories, we help keep your vehicle ready for anything. Visit Rokiski Service Center at 798 West Pike Street or call 304-623-2836 today. That's Rokiski Service Center, 304-623-2836.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back as we have figured out the magic to the commercials. And imagine this, the bottom of the commercial thing, that red X meant mute.
I think that's what it usually means.
Yeah, so we figured that out. So here we go, bottom half of the third, and we have at the plate Tristan Swiger, the 2-hole hitter for the Bulldogs. Drives a ball left field. It could be shallow. I think that's going to get there. That's a little bloop into the left. And look at the speed. Look at the pressure pushing the bases. And just like that, Swiger finds another double because of hustle.
Because of hustle, getting up the line, getting out of the box, and getting around the corner up there is really important. We're getting a lot of extra bases just from people, little sloppy throws, little non-hustle things. I mean, we're getting extra bases all around the place.
He did a triple like that the other night at Tyler Consolidated.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that kind of baseball.
At the plate, number 7, Caleb Hall looks on with a runner on second.
Oh, that was a big swing. Oh, it was a big swing. He just missed it, though. It's
the frustrations in our 3-hole hitter. He hasn't seen a lot of strikes in the last few games. He's been put aboard multiple times. But sometimes you got to be just patient enough to let him walk you. Brings up the 4-hole hitter, number 50, Luke Rikiski. And we got 1 out, runner on second. Rikiski comes into the box. Ground ball, hard ground ball to shortstop. He bobbles it. Rakiski finds himself safe on the air by the shortstop. So he fielded it clean, bobbled it, just couldn't get rid of the ball.
Was Tristan Swigert out there running around like a minion, I think, just to kind of keep the shortstop from throwing the ball. But
yeah,
it worked, whatever he was doing out there.
So Swiger's standing on second, Rakiski's on first, and Dane Murphy steps into the box, the 4-hole hitter. Dane batting .444 on the season coming into tonight. Doing a great job in that cleanup position, and here he goes with runners in scoring position. Hopefully do the same tonight as he watches a curveball for strike one.
Why? What'd you say, Nate? Because you're going to wish her happy birthday. She's going to kill you for that picture already.
I know that, so I might as well just go over.
And we have our first pitch on the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So we're looking at an even count.
She is going to kill you.
Swung on, hit right back to the shortstop. Redemption time, 6-4-3, and the Rebels can turn two as well. 6-4-3 double play, and the Rebels find themselves out of the inning pretty quickly, and the Bulldogs go scoreless for the third straight inning as the Route 50 rivalry is doing just what we thought it would. It's bringing some action to the home of the Bulldogs, and we will be right back. And guess what? This time you're going to hear commercials from our sponsors.
There we go.
Mission in motion. In Doddridge County schools, our students are becoming future ready, rising up with bright minds and big goals. Together, we are united to make a difference.
Ellenboro Floors, located at 23 West Washington Avenue in Ellenboro, West Virginia, is a family-owned and operated business. We have a full showroom with displays of flooring ranging from luxury vinyl plank, tile, hardwood, carpet, sheet vinyl, carpet tiles, and more. We offer commercial and residential installation. Let's turn your home or business into something special. Call 304-869-3969. Financing is available. We are open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Ellenboro Floors, located at 23 West Washington Avenue in Ellenboro, West Virginia. Call 304-869-3969 or visit us on Facebook.
Welcome back to the action here, folks. And I will tell you, a lot of people would have thought that this game would have already been out of hand. A lot of people would have thought that this game would have been close to being called. They were talking. I've heard a lot of rumblings. Hey, this should be a very quick game. But I will tell you this. This is why games are played on the field and not on paper.
That's it.
Ritchie County Rebels, hats off to them so far. They have played very good defensively. They had the air by the shortstop, but redemption time came, and they answered the call by a 6-4-3 double play. And what's funny is the Bulldogs exited their last inning with a 4-6-3 double play.
That's right.
So that's always fun to watch. So we go the top half of the fourth. Evan Kelly still dealing for the Bulldogs, and at the plate looks like number 10, and that's going to be Mr. Landon Shiflett.
No, you definitely can't cancel out Ritchie County right here. It's 3-1 score. Anything can happen. It's baseball, you know. It just takes a couple errors, couple hits, you know, the numbers change. And I think right now Ritchie County's taking advantage of that.
That's one thing that makes baseball so great is it is one of those games where you don't have time to celebrate a win very long, but you can't cry about a loss very long either.
That's right.
Because you have so many games in a week. As Evan finds strike, that's 2 balls and 1 strike. You know, you can't hold on to anything that happened because tomorrow's a new day. And listen, we got a tall order this week, so they've got to take care of business. They've got to get themselves in position to be ready for tomorrow and Saturday, but you can't look forward to those games when you have a rivalry game on a Thursday.
One day at a time. That's what they say, is one day at a time. So, yeah, they got to get this one, you know.
Swung on and missed. Foul ball in the dirt. That's going to bring 3 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter, number 10, Shiflett, in the top half of the fourth.
How's an 8-0 season when you lose to the school right down the street from you?
Yeah, it means nothing. So we got to take care of business. Fastball swung on to the right side. Murphy is there, makes a nice play along the line for the first out. So a little flash of the glove from the Great Dane, known for his ability to hit a ball, but he's very good defensively. I've watched him all summer and all fall really turn heads to these colleges, and I would expect if there's a card about to go off the deck, it's going to be Dane Murphy with some offers coming to the table. Swung on and hit lightly into the infield. These are tough with the English that's on the ball, and number one gets himself an infield hit, and that puts the Rebels aboard. Number one is Hartness, Zach Hartness, the center fielder.
I'm kind of surprised I didn't see Tristan Swagger get dirty right there.
I think that big swing, a lot of times, it makes it look like the ball's going to go further.
Yeah, and you have to judge it.
Yeah, the swing was big, but the way he had the English on the ball, it just didn't go very far, and when it hits the turf, it's going to ricochet the opposite way. Didn't frazzle the pitcher, junior Evan Kelly, right back in the zone. No balls, 1 strike. And as we've seen already defensively, we're 1 pitch away from this inning being retired. Fastball just misses on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, I think Tristan was in the hole there. He was kind of deep in the hole there. It was kind of hard for him to get to. I kind of see how far away he was from the ball.
So swing on and a foul ball brings up 1 ball and 2 strikes. Biggest thing for the Bulldogs here is to settle in, play their style of baseball, and just take what the Rebels are giving you. Don't try to manufacture something that's not there. And that's what's got us in trouble so far, trying to do too much. And we have a great stop by the catchers. We don't let a pass ball. Those are those free bases we've talked about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think last inning, before they closed the inning, last inning, I wanted to say something about Maxwell because the batter was up and he had blocked, I think, 2 or 3 balls with guys on. And you don't realize how important it is, a guy back there that's taking breaking balls in the dirt, one after another with guys on base, and you're not letting them guys get around on the bases. That's a big deal.
Well, that's why they could turn 2.
That's it.
If that guy gets ahead of the next base, we can't turn 2, and that inning's still going.
Yep.
So you're exactly right. A seasoned catcher is worth their weight in gold.
It is.
So shout out to Mr. Maxwell Nicholson doing the dirty work behind the plate. Always looking forward as a catcher should be.
Yeah, when you got guys on bases and they're not advancing because the catcher's not dropping the ball.
Softly hit ball to the shortstop, and he comes up, makes a great field, great throw, but the umpire says not in time. So that is 2 infield hits in a row by the Rebels, and while they're not knocking the ball off the cover, they are finding themselves the way on base, and in baseball, that's all that matters.
That's it.
Brings to the plate the first baseman, number 14.
At the plate now is number 14, the big man, Mr. Martin, Logan Martin. He's the first baseman for the Rebels. Swings on and fouls it down into the home dugout. Now, speaking of home dugouts, Doddridge County is looking for a big revamp to the field, as we've all heard rumblings and some excited talk about moving the dugouts down, putting in some real seating, and really giving a facelift to the fans. I mean, the field, the playing surface is next level, but the stands are lacking.
I've heard mumbles about it, but I haven't seen anything in stone. But I don't. If you're saying it, I'm probably going to take it. It's going to happen.
It's happening.
Is it?
So
Okay,
I would say by
great.
next year we're going to have some great seating.
That'd be great.
And also some batting cages are going to be attached. And I
Nice.
think that the good thing about Bulldog Country is out here is that the folks here in administration, they're always looking to improve. So hats off to them, and we are excited to see this facility grow.
I can tell you the next 5 to 6 years here in baseball, I could definitely see a lot more championships coming out here.
Oh, yeah.
With the guys that are coming up in the filtration that are at the junior high, at 8th grade, getting ready to come up. There's multiple guys that's going to contribute to it. But
Fastball that stayed outside got the number 14, Martin, to chase it, which would have been a ball, but instead he goes out trying to protect. So we still stay with no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners are at first and second. And how they get there? They got there by some soft hits to the infield. They were singles. No errors were made. No play attempts. Brody Brockman from short made a great play, but just not in time from the soft single into the infield. So no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 pitch away. Swung on and missed, and there's your second out of the inning. And it falls victim to the lefty's movement, Mr. Evan Kelly.
that's a hard pitch to catch up with, that slider coming in at you.
At the plate now is the 9-hole hitter, number 27, Mr. Joey himself.
Number 27, Joey Dalrymple.
And speaking of Joey, we give a shout-out to Joey Adams that's always watching from Salem, maybe one of the biggest fans of Bulldog baseball.
Okay.
So we appreciate him on here.
What's going on, Joey?
Yeah, always excited to see people write in. Let us know where you're from and how we can make the game better. Number 9 swings on, fouls the ball off.
See, here we are, third inning, bottom of third, and now Evan is just now starting to really pepper the strike zone like he's wanting to.
Swung on and missed, and that is strike 3. So the Bulldogs, a little bend but no break, so they finish the top half of the 4th inning with no runs, but they do give up 2 hits, no errors, but the most important thing is no runs. So we go to the bottom half. It's the Bulldogs 3, the Ritchie County Rebels 1.
Key Oil Company has been a proud member of the North Central West Virginia community since 1978. Key Oil Company has been drilling and producing gas and oil in West Virginia for nearly 50 years. Home office located in Weston, West Virginia. Key Oil Company is a proud supporter of all Doddridge County student athletes. Let's go Bulldogs!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Bulldogs against the Rebels for the Route 50 rivalry. As so far, we've seen a very unexpected, low-scoring game. The pitcher here for the Rebels has been called upon, Mr. Mr. Austin Topper. They shoved those 2 names in the same box, so I do apologize for the confusion, but Mr. Topper is on the mound. He's dealt efficiently. He's kept our bats at bay. He's kept us off balance.
Yes.
Doesn't have a fastball that he can throw by you, but he's got a wrinkle that keeps you honest. He locates his fastball decently. So our hitters, what they've got to do is settle back in the box, relax, and just let the ball come to them before they explode out of their shoes.
You know, number 25 out here for Ritchie County, I see a little fire in him. You know what I'm saying? He's out here trying. He's all red-faced, giving it all he's got, and I respect it.
Malachi Kelly swings on, foul ball, right field line. Malachi struck out his last time at bat, and I will tell you, if there's a guy that looks for redemption, it's going to be this young man right here. Swung on, fouled straight back. That's going to bring up no balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 count. And that ball is going to be low and away for ball 1. And we are, very thankful, as you hear Justin and I's voice most of the night, but we're very thankful for Miss Paige over here that runs the scoreboard, because we saw what kind of debacle this was without her. So we are thankful for all that she does here with us as well. So,
well, we wanted to see her hook all this stuff up so she could do it next time. We come. Make sure she has.
I didn't see her here for that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was wanting her here for, was to see how they hooked everything up.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swung on by Malachi Kelly. Gets a good barrel, but right to the center fielder. Good barrel, but that's an out. So that's what's awesome about baseball. We saw the Rebels have 2 soft infield singles.
Yeah.
But then a loud barrel is an out.
That's right. You could slam the ball, but if it's right to somebody, it's an out, That was a good hit right there by Malachi.
Good swing.
It was a good barrel, good hit. If you got these guys with not a lot of velocity on the mound and they're thrown against you and you're still hitting the ball to the fence, near the fence with just low velo coming in, you're hitting the ball pretty hard.
Evan Kelly, the pitcher for the Bulldogs at the plate. The lefty looks on. He's that young man that last year was nowhere near a 350 mark. And I believe if I would probably go back and look, he probably was under a 300 mark. This year, he's just north of 300. His first at bat, he had a nice line drive where the second baseman climbed the ladder to make the out. Had a good barrel.
And that's on the year, you're saying?
For the year, he's batting just above 350 on the year.
That's great. He's really came a long ways.
This is what happens, people, when you work in the off season.
Yeah. Evans really worked hard.
2 balls and 1 strike as he's looking for his pitch. He's one of those guys that doesn't get rattled very easily. Again, another thing that he worked on was his composure, and we see it playing very well for the junior. Fastball outside, just misses. So that's going to be 3 balls, 1 strike as Evan is at the plate with 1 out aboard.
You know, very rarely you're going to get an emotional outburst out of these boys on the baseball field.
Not very rarely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what we key to have. It's
line drive down the right field line. Evan Kelly on his horse, and he's gonna push for 2.
Maybe.
Evan's gonna have his first extra base hit of the season as the junior comes away with the second base celebration. I don't know what that was. I have no clue what that celebration was. Looked like a snorkel.
He's fishing through he's swimming through the. I'm not sure what.
I don't know what that was. I've seen some celebrations, but that's the first I've seen. But you know what? Good for you, Evan. Celebrate that double. Good line drive down the right field line. Puts a runner in scoring position as Maxwell Nicholson settles into the box, the 8-hole hitter, the catcher. And he wears one and puts him aboard.
Watch the bat. Watch. Here goes the bat.
9-hole hitter, Mr. DeHaven, comes to the plate with runners at first and second. Runners are at first and second with 1 out. And we're throwing baseballs all over this field right now.
Well, I hope Brody gets him out, right over there on the sidelines.
1 down the inning. That brings him plate the DH, number 3.
You know, Brody's actually got himself collected a lot more because you remember this past summer, like he would kind of rush things. He was already fast, so he would try to rush things a little bit, but now.
Swung on, fly ball, looks like to the third baseman. He backs up, now comes in, makes the infield catch. However, it was infield fly anyway, so the batter was out immediately, which now the only thing about the infield fly, even if he drops it, the batter's out. And that happens when there's less than 2 outs and there's runners on first and second.
Speaking of him,
at the plate, number 2, Brody Bronkelman.
I was saying you slow Brody down to half speed. He's still twice as fast as most regular infielders.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really helped him a lot just being able to concentrate.
We have a pinch runner for our catcher that was on first base. And that's going to be none other than Mr. Aiden Pigg over on first. And the young man, Mr. Aiden, has seen a lot of play time thus far as a freshman for the Bulldogs. And quite frankly, he's come through each time. I mean, he's done his job. He's got some base hits. He's laid down, got walked, scored some runs. They trust him on the bases. So he does what the coach asked for. And Brody Brockman falls behind. No balls, 2 strikes. But if I'm the Rebels, don't get too excited. Brody's a great 2-strike hitter. Swung on, fouled off, stays alive.
Oh, Brody, he's not going to let it be easy on you.
Nope.
That's for sure.
I will promise you, Brody right now is not rattled. Sometimes it's hard to tell if he's awake, but I will tell you he's not rattled. No balls, 2 strikes, floater inside, and he jumped out of the way of that bullet. And he goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners are at first and second. Evan with the double. And then Maxwell got hit by a pitch, and then we had a pinch runner for him. And then after that, we had Mr. DeHaven with an infield fly. Swung on and missed by the floater, and it takes me back to the movie Rookie of the Year, where he says, I've not seen the floater since Scruffy McGee. So, folks, we've seen the floater, and the Bulldogs again go 3 scoreless innings in a row as we go to the top of 5. The score is still 3-1 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Mission in motion. In Doddridge County Schools, our students are becoming future ready, rising up with bright minds and big goals. Together, we are united to make a difference.
Check this out.
Looking for automotive service you can trust? Turn to Rokiski Service Center in Clarksburg, West Virginia. Family owned and operated since 1924. We've proudly served generations of local drivers with dependable, honest automotive care. From routine maintenance like oil changes, brakes, and tires, to lift kits, custom wheels, and off-road accessories, we help keep your vehicle ready for anything. Visit Rokiski Service Center at 798 West Pike Street or call 304-623-2836 today. That's Rokiski Service Center, 304-623-2836.
Welcome back here as we hear Todd Fogarty singing "Put Me In, Coach." The Bulldogs have got to find a way to put some runs on the board today, but what they have to do first is take care of business here in the top of the fifth as we are in a dogfight. It's 3-1 in favor of the Bulldogs, so we like that, but we sure don't like that 3 number.
The fourth inning, it's the closest game we've had.
This is a close game. You go back to St. Mary's where we had to have the walk-off to win it. And walking into the studio right now is none other than the birthday girl herself, Miss Dee Dee.
Happy birthday, Dee Dee.
So happy birthday to Miss Dee Dee. I'm sure all of the land will want to celebrate her birthday.
Oh, and the messages are going wild.
Look, the messages are probably going to blow up here in a minute, wishing her birthday. 29 never looked so good.
Looking good, Dee Dee.
Evan on the mound, no balls, 1 strike as he fires the ball. Number 7 for the Rebels is their leadoff. Tegan Backus fires it off down the right field line, and that's going to be no balls and 2 strikes.
I'll tell you, Dee Dee said something to us. We had our headphones on. I had no idea what she was saying.
I don't know, but she started to massage my back, and I was wishing she would have finished that job right there. But here we go.
Here we go.
We got a ground ball back to the pitcher. Evan fires the first, and that's going to be 1 up, 1 down. The 2-hole hitter, number 12, has had a couple base hits today so far, I believe, but I know he's got at least 1 good barrel.
I like to see Evan out here working, getting his pitch count in, just working these batters. He looks good. They just need to continue playing defense behind Evan.
We've got a timeout by the official as he's working on his face mask. I'm going to give a shout-out to these officials. I know this guy behind the plate personally. They do a great job. I mean, these guys, even when they do make a mistake, it's not on purpose, moms and dads. They're out here doing the best that they can. But I will tell you, I've seen some really good work behind the plate this year from these umpires. So hats off to them. Kudos to them. We appreciate what they do for these young men. As the 2-hole hitter flies the ball out to the infield, number 10, Murphy, comes over, takes control.
Good job, Dane Murphy, by calling everybody off there. That could have been disastrous.
Yeah. What's the one thing on that play, Coach, that you see happen right there? What's the one thing we could have improved on?
Oh, well, Dane calling everybody off was the right thing, but Evan should have just ran out of there as soon as they called it. They should run out of there.
Okay. How about somebody that's not going to catch the ball?
Yeah.
Second base or
should have covered
Evan,
the bag.
Go cover first base bag. Nobody covered first base. Here we go. No balls, 1 strike. Fastball inside. Brings up a 1-1 count.
Well, I couldn't see the bag where I was sitting, so that's why I couldn't say that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Here we go. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Evan dealing. Ground ball to Malachi. Malachi fields it, fires across the diamond for the 3rd out, and we retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. No hits, no runs, no errors as we go to the bottom half of the 5th. Bulldogs, let's get these bats awake,
Good job,
we will be right back.
Mission in motion. In Doddridge County Schools, our students are becoming future ready, rising up with bright minds and big goals. Together, we are united to make a difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and we see the flood of birthday wishes to Miss Dee Dee. We appreciate that. If there's somebody in the community that does something for these young men, young ladies, it has to start with Dee Dee. Everything that you see happen, and you see that lady there, she's present, she's involved, she loves these young men, she loves these young ladies. So big shout out to her and happy birthday. Now, back to baseball. We still have the young man, number 25, on the mound dealing. Number 25, Austin Topper, goes into the bottom half of the fifth. And I will say, besides Williamstown, I think he's one of the only young men that's went this far into the Bulldogs batting lineup. But I will tell you, this is the third time around. And he's about to start off with one of the hottest bats on the team, Tristan Swiger, the second baseman. So Tristan settles into the box. Pitch is on. He liked it, but he watched it for strike one. So Mr. Topper goes no balls, one strike. And this is where he likes to throw that little wrinkle. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a curveball to the inside. Curveball doesn't break down enough, but it definitely was a curveball to the inside. One ball, one strike, a little bit too much inside. Swiger looks on. Leadoff hitter for the... He drills that ball into right center, but I tell you what, the center fielder does a good job of covering ground, and he makes that play. The young man has done that a couple times tonight. Number 7, Mr. Backus, doing what a center fielder is supposed to do, covering ground and catching fly balls. And this brings up number 7 to the plate for the Bulldogs, Caleb Hall. Caleb, hitless for the night. He's been walked, and then he hit a fly out to the second baseman just behind the pitcher's mound in the second or third inning. Fastball goes behind him. So we go 1 ball, no strikes. The flag is flying dead center out. If we can get a ball up in the air, maybe we can add some extra base hits here. So we got 1 out. The count is 1 ball, no strikes. Hall in the box. Here comes the pitch. And it's fastball high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Caleb Hall at the plate. Comes in tonight batting just under 600. Sees fastball up and away. So far he's had a ball behind him. He's had 2 balls at the top of his head. 3 balls, no strikes. His first at bat, he saw the same. 4 straight balls. Now he's seen these 3. Fastball for a strike on the 3-1 count, and now he's praying that he sees that kind of pitch again. Swung on, foul ball down the right field line. Got a little excited out in front of it. Inside fastball taken down the right field line. And we have 3 balls, 2 strikes to the senior 3-hole hitter, Caleb Hall. Swung on and drove into right field. That's going to be a base hit. And so Hall will be aboard in the bottom half of the 5th. At second base, or at first base, I'm sorry, it's a single, and that's going to bring up the senior center fielder, number 50, Luke Rakiski. And Dee Dee, not only is it her birthday, she's now bringing birthday presents into the box. She just brought birthday cake. Yeah, because you're chewing. Keep eating. And Justin's going to go ahead and eat some cake for a little while. Hall almost picked off. We got all kind of shenanigans going on up here in the box tonight. Luke Rakiski's yet to see a pitch. Hall's over at first, and he takes off on the pitch. Swung on, drove by Luke right at the left fielder. Hall's got to fly back to tag up, and he will be safe on the tag up. And Rakiski finds a hard line drive, but it is an out. So we've seen a couple of those tonight by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs have fell victim to a few hard barrel outs while the Rebels have had success by some soft base hits.
Yeah, Caleb did a real good job on the base running right there. He was right up against the bag. As he caught the ball, he could trace back. If he would have dropped that ball, if any chance of any bobble, Caleb would have been a third, maybe even home.
Yep.
Really good base running.
Stepping into the box is number 10, Dane Murphy, the first baseman. Hall takes off, looking for a stolen bag, and there it is. Ball bounces away, goes to the outfield. Hall gets up, goes to 3, and swipes that. So advances on that throw. Now we've got 2 outs. The Dogs are looking for some kind of excitement, and this might be just what they needed to wake up the bats. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Murphy, the 4-hole hitter, ready to come alive with 1 ball, 1 strike. Hall's at third. Couple ways to score here, base hit or a ball gets away. Swung on, drove by Murphy into the gap. That's going to go to the wall. Murphy's going to have some extra base hit.
There he goes. He might round 3.
And he's better hold up there. Great job by the great Dane. Good line drive, getting off the turf. Good skip bounce. Shows a lot of backspin to that ball, the way that it skipped when it hit the turf.
Yeah.
Excellent swing, and the result was just as good.
I remember back in the day when you hit the ball, you had that backspin on the ball a lot.
They taught that downswing, man. Create backswing.
Yeah.
Create backspin. In the box, our third baseman for tonight made a couple great plays. Malachi Kelly sees a curveball off the plate for ball 1. Great job of keeping his hands back. Malachi Kelly waits here for the pitch. Swung on, drove into left field. That one's going to get down, however. Murphy's going to come showing off the speed. He's coming to home. There's a play at home plate. Collision. Murphy slides in safe. And time is called as the young man at the plate. Looks like he's holding his thigh, as there was a collision at home plate, and we will take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Check this out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back as we see our catcher getting back into position. We always love to see that. We love to see hard, aggressive play, but you never want to see any of the young men, these competitors, be hurt. Looks like a Charlie horse into his thigh during the collision. Now,
You know,
a lot of people say there's not supposed to be collisions in baseball. Well, in that play, that was a total legal play by both participants. Here's what happened. Ball is coming to the plate, so there will be a play at the plate. The catcher was not blocking the plate. He gave room for the player to come into it. Mm-hmm. So he's allowed to set up there. He has every right to set up there. He gave running room or slide room to the offensive player. Collision happened. The correct call was made. That's not a vicious slide, but collisions do happen in all sports.
I just felt like his leg was halfway covering the bag a little bit, like his thigh was, but when the slide came in, he was in the base path, kind of just they collided.
Here comes a ground ball by Evan Kelly back to the pitcher, and the Rebels find themselves with the third out, but not before the home team, Bulldogs, push 2 across the plate. So we go to the top of the 6th with a score 5-1, and we'll be right back.
Bulldog Station and Doddridge County Sports is a winning combination. For all your pizzas, subs, and salads, call Bulldog Station at 304-666-1364. Open Monday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Tuesday and Wednesday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Thursday and Friday 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturdays 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Bulldog Station located at 323 West Main Street, West Union, West Virginia. Let's go Bulldogs!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And we are going to be in the top half of the 6th inning where the Bulldogs got a little bit of breathing room with a couple runs pushed across the plate. Had a great hard barrel single into right field by Hall, then followed up by Murphy with the double in the gap, line drive from him. So a good job with those plays. And then Murphy sliding in safe at home, but not before there was a pretty vicious collision. But all is well to both guys. We saw the catcher jog off, so we're glad to see that. Evan Kelly steps back on the mound. And Justin, what do you think? We're in the 6th inning, and Kelly's still throwing.
You know, it's really good to see Kelly being up enough in his pitch count to be able to get into the 6th inning. You know, he's probably seen the mound 3, maybe 4 times already. A couple of closes. This is his first game starting. This is real good for him as far as where he's at year-wise, where he's at number-wise, where we're at in the year. I think he's pitched excellent the first couple games here. He's not doing a bad job here today. You know, the boys are just putting the bat on the ball, and we're not getting big breaks. I think Kelly just keep fighting, keep doing what he's doing. He's going to really produce some really big numbers in his future. I'm just real happy to see what he's doing today, and I'm going to be glad to see what he's going to do in the future for us.
All right, number 22, Grayson Dodd, comes to the plate for the leadoff here in the top of the 6th. And Ritchie County Rebels, if they're going to get something started, it's got to be now. They've got to find their way to get a spark, get some things on. And I'll be honest, if the Bulldogs were ever wanting to shut a door, it's now. Kelly delivers, swing on and miss for strike 1, and we have no balls, 1 strike.
So what's striking me right now is his 6th inning. He's got more pop on his fastball right now than he has in the 1st inning.
And look at him. He's standing there ready and ready to rock and roll. His arm's in good shape, shows his body's in good shape. Little check swing. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs, top of the 6th. Bulldogs lead 5-1.
Guess them medicine balls might be paying off after all, right?
No balls, 2 strikes. Something not too good. That's a great pitch, low and in the dirt. Got the batter to chase. Maxwell digs it out, tags him before he leaves the box, and the Bulldogs look at 3 straight pitches for the first out. Into the box comes number 10, Mr. Shiflett, Landon Shiflett. He's playing right field for the Rebels tonight. The lefty hitter, so a little lefty on lefty. Evan delivers, fastball, low, away. 1 ball, no strikes. Bulldogs have a tall order the rest of the week. If you're a Bulldog fan, a lot of baseball coming up Saturday and Friday. So 2 days in a row. Friday they drive down to Sissonville to take on that team away on the road, and then they jump up and they go to Weir. Weir High School, go up north in the Panhandle and play them. A couple tough teams, regional games, some strong arms. So the Bulldogs need this momentum going into those 2 games.
They're definitely going to need some momentum. So their tempo's down a little bit right now. By all means, 5 runs. We're used to seeing 10, 15 runs on the board. I'm just glad to see a little bit of a closer game today.
As we get a batter to chase on 2 balls and 1 strike, so that brings up 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out.
I'll tell you what else, Ben, I'm noticing different. I'm seeing Kelly pitch these batters as he's throwing them backwards now.
Yeah.
He's not just putting it over the plate to throw strikes. He's actually pitching.
Curveball sneaks in there for ringing him up, and as the guys yell out, do you need something? And you hear them yell, nope, just looking. As the batter retires back to the dugout.
Now up for the Rebels, the center fielder, number 1.
The center fielder comes to the plate, number 1, Hartness. Now, I'll tell you, this young man has made a couple nice gap plays, taken away some hits, and we've seen a lot of these other teams not make those plays, so hats off to him as he drives the ball down by his coach.
What's the gentleman's name here?
Hartness, number 1, the center fielder. He's made a couple nice plays.
Yeah, he's putting the bat on the ball, too, here.
Swung on and missed. Evan finds him, no balls, 2 strikes. He's got 2 strikeout victims already this inning in the top half of the 6th as he looks for victim number 3, and no better way to start it as 2 straight strikes. Here comes the delivery. Swung on, hit back softly to Evan. He fields it. Nice throw across to Dane, and we retire. 3 up, 3 down. No hits, no walks, no runs, no errors. As we go to the bottom half of the 6th, we'll be right back.
Check this out.
Ellenboro Floors, located at 23 West Washington Avenue in Ellenboro, West Virginia, is a family-owned and operated business. We have a full showroom with displays of flooring ranging from luxury vinyl plank, tile, hardwood, carpet, sheet vinyl, carpet tiles, and more. We offer commercial and residential installation. Let's turn your home or business into something special. Call 304-869-3969. Financing is available. We are open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Ellenboro Floors, located at 23 West Washington Avenue in Ellenboro, West Virginia. Call 304-869-3969 or visit us on Facebook.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the bottom of the 6th inning, where hopefully this is the last at-bats for the Bulldogs. But I know that if I'm Coach Nate, I'm going to want them to put a couple runs across the board just to feel a little better. 4-run ball game is never enough when you're playing a rival.
No, it's definitely not. I'm trying to think who we played in the beginning there. We had a good little jump on them, and they came back. Was it Williamstown we played? Or that they came back?
All right, I'm sorry, Justin. What'd you ask?
No, was it Williamstown when they came back? I'm trying to think what game that we got a good lead. We started subbing our guys.
I think it was, yeah.
Is either
no,
Williamstown
that was
or
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's.
Swung on here by number 9, Maxwell Nicholson. Pops the ball up to the center fielder. Good barrel, just a little bit too high. Good swing, just a little too much air under it. And that's going to bring up the first out of the inning. So we go now. Hunter Hayhurst is going to bat for himself. So we've killed the DH. Not literally, but we've killed the DH. And when the left fielder, Hunter, is going to bat for himself. And at Tyler Consolidated last game, Hunter was 0 for 2, but with 2 absolute barrels.
Oh, yeah.
So he is definitely due to get one of these barrels to fall in. Swung on, hit to the third baseman. He fires across. And that brings out number 2, but the top of the lineup is up. And I think some of these guys are looking for some redemption.
Okay, man.
Now the inning, we got 2 quick outs here to start the bottom of the 6th. And now we're back to the top of the order for the Dogs with the shortstop, number 2, Brody Brockelman.
Brockelman up at the plate, sees the pitch. About 56 foot in distance. Didn't quite get there. Brody, the leadoff hitter, 1 ball, no strikes. Swung on and hit the ball hard to the center fielder, but they're playing deep, and that's going to be 3 up and 3 down. So
real nice hit right there.
That was a good barrel again. They're playing deep, but the Bulldogs go 3 up and 3 down. They go into the top of the 7th looking for 3 outs with a score of 5-1.
Key Oil Company has been a proud member of the North Central West Virginia community since 1978. Key Oil Company has been drilling and producing gas and oil in West Virginia for nearly 50 years. Home office located in Weston, West Virginia. Key Oil Company is a proud supporter of all Doddridge County student athletes. Let's go Bulldogs.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at the home of the Bulldogs on a beautiful spring night. It's about 78 degrees outside. The fans are packed in here, almost like sardines everywhere when you look around. The concession stand's been bumping all night. It's been a great electric atmosphere here with the Bulldogs, and we are glad that you are tuned in here with us. So far, it has been a very different type of game, but the Bulldogs find themselves hunting 3 outs. If we can get 3 outs before they get 4 runs, the Bulldogs walk away victorious without needing to bat in the bottom half of the 7th. Evan Kelly still on the mound and delivering sharply strike 1 on his first pitch. This has got to look good for Coach Nate to be able to watch this young man come out here and throw, as of right now, what looks like a complete game.
I'm really happy with Evan. You know, he wasn't where he wanted to be the first maybe 2 innings, but now here, these 5th, 6th inning, he's came in here and done a phenomenal job staying in the zone. He's got more pop on his fastball than he had in the first couple innings. I'm just real proud of Evan right now.
1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. Evan delivers.
Nice pitch.
Sneaks in that curveball in the back door. And goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Delivers, swung on in the ground. Again, the catcher making a great play, allowing these guys to throw nasty stuff in the dirt. Great job, Maxwell.
Good job.
So he gets his first victim as a strikeout. Last inning, he had 2 strikeouts and a soft ball hit back to the mound. And he starts off this inning with the same way, and he's already ready to rock and roll. At the plate, steps in number 14, Logan Martin, the first baseman for the Rebels of Ritchie County, as we see fastball right past the bat of the first baseman.
I see something in Evan right now. He's ready. He's about the business right now. So when he came out first inning, I didn't see this kind of streak in him, but right now he's done playing.
He's dealing.
You can tell.
He's dealing, goes down no balls, 2 strikes. And ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of this game, we will have the player of the game. We will have some interviews. We'll talk with not only the player of the game, but also the coach of the moment, Coach Nate Wright, looking for his 9th straight win, as we just missed off the outside corner for strike number 3, and we go 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good patience by the hitter. Evan deals back in there. He gets a flare into the right side, and Mr. Swiger standing there and makes the play. So we got 2 up, 2 down. We got looking for that last out, Coach.
That's it. You know, I don't know if Evan will hear this, but if he listens to this and watches himself pitch, whatever you did to get you that fire in you 4th, 5th, and 6th inning, that's what you need to bring first inning, brother. You look really good right now. I'm really happy with what you're doing, man. You look good.
Fastball inside for ball 1.
That's close.
1 ball, no strikes.
He's all around the plate.
He's been able to locate multiple pitches tonight for a strike, and that's what's led to the success. Not only was his fastball good, but his off-speed was even better as we get a guy chasing on a 57-foot breaking ball.
Yeah, Evan's got a lot of movement on every single one of his pitches. There's nothing flat that comes out of his hand.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. So he rears back and deals. There's that curveball just a little bit outside. Doesn't quite get the early enough break in it. And we have 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs as the Rebels are desperately looking for a base runner. And they find one. They find one. And no better way than one of those things we talked about, keys of the game, is to limit free bases. And this is what we're talking about. In a rival game late in the game, we got to keep them off the base. That's number 27. Oh, that's number 27 who's got plunked. That's also the catcher.
Oh.
So mom and dad, if you're listening to number 27, if you're Joey's
Have
parents,
some Advil ready.
Get that guy an ice bath Get that guy some Advil. Your son has played hard tonight. Coach says, you know what, let's get a guy right here to run for him. Number 27, Mr. Joey, hats off to you, buddy. Way to be tough tonight.
Yeah, good job, catcher.
So at the plate now is our leadoff, number 7, Backus. Drove up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. And all of a sudden, there's a little spark coming out of the visitors' dugout, exactly what you don't want to have happen in the top half of the 7th. And the number 2 hole hitter, number 12, Brayson Hayes, the second baseman. And this guy has been tough all night. Coach,
you can't really expect any more out of Evan. They're just getting these little links in there, just sticking the bat out, kind of slapping it here and there.
I don't think Coach takes him out right here. I think Coach talks to him and says, well, maybe I have no clue what I'm talking about. We are going to Mr. Malachi Kelly.
Where's his pitch count at?
Malachi Kelly. It could be. Never know.
Yeah.
Malachi Kelly's going to come in here and hopefully one pitch and get us out of this. But we'll be right back after these short messages. And hats off to Mr. Evan Kelly for a great outing against the Rebels.
Check this out.
Looking for automotive service you can trust? Turn to Rokiski Service Center in Clarksburg, West Virginia. Family owned and operated since 1924. We've proudly served generations of local drivers with dependable, honest automotive care. From routine maintenance like oil changes, brakes, and tires, to lift kits, custom wheels, and off-road accessories, we help keep your vehicle ready for anything. Visit Rokiski Service Center at 798 West Pike Street or call 304-623-2836 today. That's Rokiski Service Center, 304-623-2836.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And on the mound, number 8, Malachi Kelly. We've seen him in some short stints so far, and I think we'll see him a lot more as he progresses. Malachi's got a very strong right arm, throws with some great velocity. He's a 6'4" lanky guy. So this is one of those horses that's in the stable that we don't see a lot, but I will tell you, as games progress and teams get tougher, we'll see him more and more.
As much as we don't know it, Malachi is a stallion in the stable. You know, and I have to say that. He has been one of them guys that really didn't pitch a lot last summer, that wanted to pitch in high school this year. He's put some work in. He's done some extra effort. Now it's going to show here. Malachi's really got good stuff, and I really like his stuff.
At the plate, number 12, Hayes, sees fastball up and away. Now, let me remind you, folks, it is 5-1 in favor of the Bulldogs. But the Ritchie County Rebels, they said they're not going away just yet. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. And that's going to be a fly ball to left field. We're camping under it, and that is your ball game. So the Bulldogs hold on in Bulldog fashion, not quite the way they would like to win a ball game, but find a way to win this Route 50 rivalry, and they do so in 7 innings. They put up 5 runs against Ritchie County's 1 run, and we go to 9-0 on the season. So as a recap of the game, not quite the hitting brigade that we normally have seen, but the Bulldogs have found a way to win. Evan Kelly dealt nasty the entire game and kept the Ritchie County Rebels off balance in their approach. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we will name the player of the game, and we will talk shortly with him and have some words from our head coach.
Yeah, I believe they pulled Evan Kelly right there just because if he would have hit this 100 pitches, it would have been an extra long day or certain amount of time that he couldn't pitch. So they didn't go over that 100 count.
We will be right back after these messages, and we'll get that young man up here in the press box to have some words with him after these messages.
Bulldog Station and Doddridge County Sports is a winning combination. For all your pizzas, subs, and salads, call Bulldog Station at 304-666-1364. Open Monday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Tuesday and Wednesday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Thursday and Friday 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturdays 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Bulldog Station located at 323 West Main Street, West Union, West Virginia. Let's go Bulldogs.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to announce the player of the game. So, Justin, as you look here at this game and the young men have performed, who do you think that we should crown as the rivalry player of the game?
I noticed Evan Kelly threw. It took him a couple innings, but he threw his game. He came out, he threw his game, he was facing batters, he got his pitch count up a little bit, and I think before he hit his 100 pitches, they pulled him. I know Evan didn't like that, and I know maybe he will understand once we explain everything to him and sit him down here for a second, but Evan's hard on himself.
So are you saying Evan's the player of the game?
Evan is the player of the game.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
I was just waiting there.
I thought we were already past that, Ben. I thought we were already past who the player of the game was because Evan's, Evan, he's the kind of guy that's harder on himself. He's harder on himself than anybody. And, out here, even though he's won, you could see him when he walked off, he wasn't completely happy with his performance. But, that's just what makes Evan. That's what makes these athletes. They can win or they can lose. It doesn't matter. They're still focusing on their same mistakes. They're still fixing what they're not good at. And that's why these guys are where they are.
They have done a great job. And you look over this record so far, and we see a record that the Bulldogs, I'm not real sure if we've seen quite a start. I asked Coach Nate, I said, when was the last time that the Bulldogs started like this? And he said, I'm not real sure. So we're going to do some digging. But the Bulldogs right now in the early season have found nothing but success.
Yeah.
They're sitting atop the board at 9 wins, no losses. We've played. When you look down the board, I just watched the other night. We beat a good Lincoln team, and Lincoln goes out and has a great victory. I forget who they were playing for sure. It just slipped my mind right there. But, Lincoln always is a tough baseball program. Then you look at Williamstown. Williamstown is not going to lose a lot of ball games this year. And we ended up handling business against them. Tyler Consolidated just a few years ago was a state champ, state runner-up style team. They've got young men still in their fold that was a part of those state championships teams. So the coach there does a phenomenal job, Mr. Jones, with those young men.
As much as you want to say that it might be a lack of competition because of it's not because of a lack of competition. We've definitely faced some really good teams.
No, we've faced good teams that have good winning records so far. I look at some of the other teams around that are undefeated, but they're playing teams that haven't had a win yet.
Right.
I look around at our record and I'm saying, okay, hey, everybody we've beat. There's a lot of these guys that's putting up some runs. We had Polka come walking in here at 6-1. And handed them a couple losses. So. Overall, so far, we're seeing these guys put together what could be the start of a really magical season. There's a couple things that's got to continue to happen. Intensity's got to stay there. And I've always told my boys when I've coached them, you got to stay 2 things. You got to stay humble and you got to stay hungry. Those are 2 things. If I stay humble, that means I'm going to work hard. If I stay hungry, I'm going to come to the ballpark every day dying for a win.
That's it.
If I can do those 2 things, if this team can stay humble and stay hungry, we're going to be okay. So I see the JV team. Another part of the success is the fact that the JV teams are starting to get to play baseball. That's not always happened here in Doddridge County.
No.
So we're seeing more young men come out to play baseball.
That's good.
We're starting to see a higher roster number, and Coach Nate's done his job of getting them some innings when they can. Now, I'm going to throw this out at the staff and the people listening. On JV baseball, Doddridge County does not have another 9 young men that can play a JV team.
That's right.
So the rule is you are allowed to play in 32 games in your season.
Not that's counting, JV.
32 games total in your season. So these guys that are on the varsity, if we may say, varsity players, they have a full 32-game roster or a 32-game schedule, I should say.
Right.
So we need some of these older guys to play games. So the WVSAC has said this: if you play JV and it's 3 innings or less, it doesn't count as a game. So what Coach Nate has done at the end of these...
That's the only way we would be able to play JV games.
The only way we can. So tip the hat to these young men that'll stay. So each day he grabs 2 or 3 of these varsity players. They stay, and they play 3 innings of JV so these younger guys can get work because your future is only as bright as the next guy up.
That's right, yeah.
So top of the hats there to those guys. We have the player of the game coming up for a quick interview here in just a few moments. So as we go to commercial, we'll be right back with those interviews with him. And I see our coach down there getting interviewed by the paper. He's a wanted man, so we will get him up here in the box and have a few words. But we will be right back after these short messages.
Mission in motion. In Doddridge County schools, our students are becoming future ready, rising up with bright minds and big goals. Together, we are united to make a difference.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are up here in the booth with Mr. Evan Kelly. Evan, you have been named as the pitcher or player of the game. So first off, I want to say congratulations for that. How's the right arm feeling?
The left arm feels good.
Left arm, that's it. Well, I want to know about the right arm, too. It had to hold a glove.
You know, it doesn't really hurt at all.
Okay,
actually.
how about the left arm?
It feels fine, actually. It doesn't hurt too bad.
As we sat here and watched you on the mound and work, we felt watching that you got stronger as the game went. Did you feel yourself getting stronger?
Yeah, near the 5th inning, I felt like I was throwing harder. I was in more control.
Yeah.
Slider was working better.
I think that you worked really, really well, and I know Coach pulled you. What did Coach talk to you about when he came on the mound there in the 7th inning?
He told me good job and that I was near 100 pitches and that he didn't want me to go over 100.
Yeah, you were at 97. 97 through actually 6 innings and 2/3. So far in this 9-game season, we've not had a pitcher go that far yet. So you showed the most command, the most longevity on the mound so far. Early in the season, what do you contribute your early success so far? What do you contribute to that?
Working hard after practice, staying with Justin, getting extra reps in, I think that helped a lot. Working on my slider more than just more fastballs, just throw more sliders. I think that helped more.
Okay. I know you've put a ton of work in, and I won't keep you up here all night so you can go celebrate with your team, but I have noticed the work. I know Coach Justin has noticed the work. Coach Nate's noticed the work. You've put a ton in. It's not always easy. So the older, mature Evan, what would you tell the younger kids when they're starting this, I want to pitch? What would be your words of advice to them?
Just to keep working. It'll all pay off in the end. You'll be successful if you just keep working at it.
I like it. Evan, great job on the mound. Congratulations.
Thank
as
you.
Our Route 50 rival game. Player of the game, Mr. Evan Kelly. And now taking on the headset is going to be the head coach of the Bulldogs. He jumps in here at a 9-0 start to what could be a pretty special season. Coach, how are we feeling?
Well, I'll be honest. We scraped by there with a 5-1 win. I feel like it's nice being 9-0. We got some tough games these next 2 games. Hopefully kind of work some stuff out there tonight. Evan can't ask for anything better than what Evan did.
No.
I mean, honestly, going out there, throwing strikes and everything like that, yeah, he did a job, that's for sure. And Evan really, he's came a long way, and I'm proud of Evan. You can't ask for him going out there throwing 98 pitches, holding those guys to 1 runs and 6 2/3.
Yeah, it was a great job. We kept talking up here as Justin and I were watching. It seemed like he continuously got stronger as the game went.
Right.
His velo looked like it went up. His command of the off speed was getting better as he went. And I don't think you pulled him because there was a mechanical issue.
Yep. No, he was at a high pitch count. You know, it's nothing that he did anything wrong. He just needed to kind of come in there, maybe a different look, and just get that last out. I feel always like you're always on pins and needles with that last out there.
It's the magical third out of every game.
Yep.
It's like that last bale of hay on the wagon. It's like, why didn't we start with that one first?
Right.
Everybody's looking for that last bale of hay. They're always looking for that last third out.
Yep.
But how comforting was it to walk on the mound, look over at Malachi Kelly and say, hey, close the door?
Right. No, it was great. He went out there, threw 2 pitches, and got us out of the inning quickly, and that's all you can ask for.
You know, you've got a stable of horses, Coach, and I think we're going to see them unfold even more as the season progresses. Talk to me real quick about these next 2 games coming up. They're games that are pretty far away as far as distance is concerned. Teams we've not really seen a whole lot of. We've got Sissonville tomorrow, and we've got Weir on Saturday. Now, the folks won't be able to listen to this, but you can always look at Game Changer and kind of watch. What do we see coming up with them? Hold on, the athletic director just jumped in. The athletic director takes trump over the video production, so we will finish up with him here in just a second as we find out what's going on and what's happening. So we are back with the coach, and that little quick interruption.
Looks like I might be umpiring the JV game. That's okay.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I mean, honestly, these 2 big games, traveling, it's essentially an adjustment with the guys, especially back-to-back. You know, these guys are going to have a late night tomorrow night. We're going to have an early morning on Saturday. I think we're going to see some good pitching from my, I guess I've done a little bit of digging, essentially who they have and what they have and who's pitched this week. So I think we'll see 2 good lefties, honestly, from both sides.
Good.
Which that's what we need. That's what I want. I want to see good pitching, you know what I mean? Because you're not going to get any better not seeing good pitching out there, because when it comes playoff time, you're going to see everybody's best.
You know, that's the key thing. It doesn't matter how many games you win in a regular season. It's what the momentum's like at the end.
Right.
So early season, mid-season losses mean nothing, because in baseball, in basketball, in volleyball, everybody gets a shot at the title.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a shot to hit the playoffs. And so, Coach, we're proud of you. You put this team in the best position possible moving forward. Nothing but best of luck to you and the Bulldogs. And next week, you travel to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a while before we're back up here, but we await a good report coming back from the sunny Myrtle Beach, hopefully with a lot of wins under our belt and momentum that's been built. So, Coach, we thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great start to this season. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being with us. It's been a great night to be here. Beautiful ballpark, beautiful night, but an even better night to be a Bulldog. Have a great night, and we will see you the next time that we're here on the Bulldog Stadium.